they decide on another sport that doesn't need a team. And that's archery. Right. So, and this is a time in our history that people that manufactured sporting goods and toys didn't really care about, safety or anything. And the kit that I got was a murderous contraption. I had steel-tipped arrows. I had a 30-pound bow. I could have taken out, a small deer or a next-door neighbor if I could aim, which I could not. So anyway, but the kit was complete. It had one of those big targets, with the bullseye kind of stuffed with straw or whatever. So anyway, this day I'm out there shooting my arrows, and I run out of arrows. And so I decide, I'm going to go find the arrows, bring them back, and I'm going to practice some more. And I'll bring them all back. Well, first of all, I couldn't have brought them all back because 4 of them were on my neighbor's roof. Right. And my neighbor, just to give you an idea, my neighbor's roof, they had a 2-story house on a little hill in back of us. So that's where they were. Now, so I think, well, oh, there's one right there. So I pull it out, which was about 4 feet from me. I was probably the first one that I went like this with, right? So, and I find a hairline crack in the shaft. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I figure, okay, I'm going to shoot this one, then I'll collect all the other ones so I can practice some more and get even better than I am now. So I go in, and I put the arrow on the rest, right? And I pull back the bowstring, and I aim as really, really focused on aiming, just like the other 12 times. And I let it go, and the stress cracks the arrow, and the back end of it, where the feathers are, goes flying over. It nails me right here in this index finger, and it burrows in under the skin. It goes over the knuckle. It comes out the other side and stops. And I'm thinking, wow, okay, and so I got the arrows coming out here, and so I just drop my bow and I start heading back to the house. And I'm not running because, what's the point? So I get back to the house, the back door, and I ring the bell for my mother. And yes, this is the same door that years before, with the finger cut off and gushing blood, the same place. So my mother gets to the door, and she doesn't scream, she doesn't cry. She just kind of looks at it and goes, just get in the car. Right. So I get in the car. We're going to see Dr. Stanley Fink, MD. And no, he wasn't, a relation to us at all. It was one of those things like you move into a new town and somebody hears your last name and says, oh, do you go to Dr. Fink? He's really good. So that's where we're going. My previous doctor had been, of course, a pediatrician for many years, a really kindly gentleman, Dr. Mast. And he had been trying to convince my mother for a long time that I was too old for his practice. And what that really meant was he couldn't stand it anymore. He couldn't stand the catastrophes and the accidents and all the other things. All he wanted was his waiting room filled with screaming, feverish kids so, that he could relax. So, anyway, so we go over to Stanley Fink, and my mother is, she's sitting like this across from the doctor, like this, and he's looking at the hand, this hand with this kind of X-Men extension kind of thing going on here, and he starts going, and he's starting to turn a little green here, and it's not because he's worried about me. No, he's turning green because and he finally turns to my mother and says, Dot, And the reason for this, let me tell you, I'm not describing it well enough because this was really something to see. So anyway, he says to my mother, Dot, you know what, I really think that you should take Richard to the ER. And my mother's head snaps around and says, for Christ's sake, Stanley, it's a big splinter, pull it out. And that's what he does. He pulls it out. And he puts a little Band-Aid or something there on it. And then, then we're done there. We go back into the car. My mother fires up the car. She fires up a cigarette. And we're back to the house. Yeah.